what's up?
What have you been playing this week?
So game this week, this
Or I
this
guess
year
this
so
month.
far.
This,
Yeah,
yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
we skipped January, so we'll talk games we've been playing January and February. I actually have like two categories. So
Okay.
I'm in a long distance relationship. There are games that I play with my partner. The first one, perfect game for me and her specifically, but I recommend this to anybody who likes playing co-op. Escape
Mm.
Simulator 2. I don't know if you
Oh,
guys have
dude.
played Escape Sim 1 or 2. What's up, Dame? You played this?
Dude, I love those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the? It's basically like an escape room. Is it escape room
Yeah.
simulator or yeah?
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. It's called Escape Simulator. There's 1 and 2. I think 2 we just finished 2 in January. Which can be played with up to 8 people. You've never played this? It's
8
super
people.
fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, and in 2 the rooms change based on if you're playing co-op or not. It just like makes it so that you have to kind of like at the start you might be locked in 2 separate locations and you have to like give each other information. And 2 was pretty good. We've played both the first game, and then we finished the second one last month. And the second one, it was more serious, less like, because the first one has this like goofy art style and the second one has like a more photorealistic art style, and the rooms are a lot bigger and the themes are a lot like more intense, but there are less rooms, so like they take more time to complete, but the content felt like very short for me. We finished it in much less time than the first game, but at the same time the first game came out a few years ago, so we had like a ton of shit to do.
Are these
Game, have you
rooms-
played this?
Go ahead.
I haven't
Chris?
played. I didn't even realize they came out with the second one. I haven't played the second one. I played the first one, and I played it a lot with my buddy Ray during
Oh.
COVID, and or I guess right after COVID, and we pretty much played through that entire game. It was a lot of fun.
I was gonna say, I love escape rooms in real life. I love them so much. I'm trying to do one like next month, but I've never played the escape room simulator. The escape rooms in the game, like, are they actually challenging? Are they?
Yes,
They're actually challenging.
they're pretty challenging, and they give you a time limit, and the time limit, like, you get like an extra bonus stat if you finish it within the time. And then in the second game, at least, every time you finish a room, one of the puzzles, you unlock a more advanced version of one of the puzzles in the room that you can play separately as well.
That's cool. I
It's
like
pretty
that.
difficult. Yeah, we had a good time. There are some rooms are more difficult than others, but it was good.
I like that. I gotta
Definitely
check this
ramps
out.
up in difficulty from what I remember. Like I remember, like the first couple of rooms are like, oh, okay, put there's a triangle shape here. Guess what do we gotta find? We gotta find a triangle. But it ramps up pretty quick, and it's like, oh, we're now in the Arctic. There's this weird note, and I'm not sure where to go now. But a lot of fun.
The cool part is they're not done because 1 and 2 have completely different vibes. They're not done supporting the first one. They're going to keep releasing DLC for the first one while they make updates for the second one too. So I recommend that game for anybody who is in a long distance relationship and has like a weekly game night with your partner.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Do they support community made escape rooms?
Yeah. Oh, there are community made escape rooms, but a lot of them are garbage.
Oh.
So you gotta
Yeah.
find the good ones.
Yeah.
And they're a little jank. They're not as like well done as the official ones.
Here's what I'll say. This is a side note to that. Is I don't think we'll ever reach the heights of like community supported maps like when Happy Wheels was
Halo
at the
3?
peak. No,
Oh.
Happy Wheels. When Happy
Happy
Wheels
Wheels.
was
Going to
at the
different
peak.
places.
Happy Wheels.
When Happy Wheels, dude. That's my peak. I think that was the best community supported stuff we'll ever get. That's my 2 cents side note.
Yeah, not the custom zombies maps and Black Ops 1, right?
Happy
But
Wheels.
definitely Happy Wheels.
Custom zombies is great.
We all have
but
different ideas. Halo 3 had like Halo 3 Forged. People were making crazy shit. Fat Kid on Ice Cream Lane. You had Halo on Halo. You had Not Your Time. Did you not play these?
Well,
Dude,
lore, I didn't play multiplayer games until like PS3, which was World at War was my first online multiplayer game because I didn't know what multiplayer was.
Halo 3 multiplayer custom games, the most fun I've ever had playing video games ever. People on PC, they'll probably relate more to like Gmod and going into Trouble in Terrorist Town and shit like that. earlier back in '09. I mean, early, like when did Halo 3 come out? '07.
I think so.
'07. But like Forge got more complex as the DLC came out. As the DLCs came out, and then '09 to like 2012, whenever Reach came out, that was crazy.
I
That was a
remember
crazy time.
I remember seeing the trailer for Reach and like Forge is back and these massive multiplayer maps, and I went, "How do you do that?" I legit had zero idea. I'm not trying to derail, but like I didn't know multiplayer was a thing like online until yeah, 6th grade.
The other games that me and my girlfriend have been playing together, if you're with somebody who's like not a hardcore gamer and is, more casual, this is going to sound, you guys have never heard of this, I guarantee it.
Probably.
There's these games on Steam and on iOS called Duck Detective. There's two of them right now.
No idea.
Okay.
They're about 2 to 3 hours long. It's these whodunit mystery, like point and click adventures where you walk around like a little, like, the first game takes place at a DMV or like a bus station,
Okay.
and there's a mystery you have to solve. The second one was better. It takes place at a summer camp, a haunted summer camp, and you're a duck who walks around and interviews people and tries to figure out who committed some sort of crime, quote unquote,
Who done it?
in the yeah, it's a whodunit.
Okay.
You kind of like, the way you solve the crimes is you're given a fill in the blank kind of thing where it's an explanation of what happened, and there's blanks for names, adjectives, and verbs, and you have to like use context clues and like interview people and remember things people said and use that to solve the fill in the blank. And it sounds like it would be easy, but it's not. It's actually like you really have to pay attention to what people are saying, what they look like. Like if there's a bit in the second game where somebody's hand has like a bruise on it and you have to like take note of that because it'll come back later. It's a lot more, it's a little more difficult than you expect. It's still like, it's not Dark Souls.
It's Mad Libs but cooler. That's what I'm envisioning right now. Like you've got a Mad Libs and you're just okay, putting everything. You've got the red lines. They're being drawn. It's like this person did this.
Sorry, it sounds like it's a more accessible version of those little murder mystery box board games that you buy for like a single time use. So
I
it sounds a lot of
literally
fun.
just for Valentine's week, Jess and I literally just did one. We literally did a murder mystery in Venice. It's so funny that you're talking about this because this is exactly what we just did 2 days ago.
You guys should play Duck Detective. Great game to play with your partner. The second one's better than the first one, but they're both pretty fun. I enjoy it. Great. And it's great for a casual gamer. It's on iOS. If anybody is watching this, like it's not a co-op game. It's a solo game, but it was fun to stream it for my partner and like have her solve with me the mysteries. So I recommend that.
I like it. That's fun.
Yeah, check it out. On the other side of things, solo games. It's mainly one game, and it's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which I've been playing since the new year, basically. I did this thing where I played like the first like 10 hours of the second game, met a character that I thought was really interesting, and I never played the first game. So after I realized that I liked this character and wanted to know more about him, I went back and played the first one for like 30 hours and like kind of sped through the story of that. And now I'm back on the second one and I'm like 50, I want to say 60 hours in or something. And Kingdom Come's dope. Have you guys played it?
I've never played a
No,
Kingdom Come
and
game.
I'll give you one reason why I haven't. I was going to, because this year I was like, you know what? I want to play a lot more solo player games, like single player games, and I want to finish a lot more games. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to play one game a month. Looked up Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I was like, how long would it take for me to platinum this game? Because I have a thing about me that if I'm gonna play the single player game, I need to get the platinum trophy. I just need to. Otherwise, I won't feel accomplished. Looked it up, 200 plus hours to get the freaking platinum trophy.
That is
And I was like, all right, I'm good. I don't need to play it.
I think you'll
It's
still
just
feel
too much.
accomplished. I think you'll still feel accomplished if you don't get the platinum. If you play that game and you play, because it takes like 80 hours just to play it, beat it normally. These games are so satisfying, man. Like the first game, it just recently, like this week, they released a PS5 update and Xbox Series X update for the first game, where it's 60 FPS now, it's 4K now. You can play the first one, and I'm surprised they didn't do it before the second game came out. They did it like way after the second game came out. It's been like a year and a half, or it's been like a year exactly since the first game came out or second one came out.
Maybe I've been living under a rock, but I didn't even hear the first one. Like,
Yeah,
the second game was the only one I ever heard of, and then I was like, oh, people were really excited for the game to come out, and then it was super well received, and I was like, where'd this come from?
agreed. I had not heard about the first one at all, and then the second one came out, and it was I was everywhere when it first came out. I was like, oh yeah, like I just never heard of the series.
So the game like takes place in early 1400s Bohemia, I want to say, and you start out as a peasant and you work your way up to like becoming a knight. That's sort of what the game's about is, and it's very rewarding because you don't just earn skills and get better. Like you play Skyrim, you hit like you see the experience bar and it goes from 0 to or 1 to 2, and you hit level 2 and then you get to spend skill points on whatever skills you want. In this game, it's there's a main level, but the way you level up is by like if you want your sword, like your longsword combat to be better, you just have to fight with your longsword and you'll earn sword stats. If you want to be better at, horse racing, horsemanship, you just have to ride your horse a lot and your stats will go up. You can't just like gain levels and then say, I want to level up horse riding, I want to level up fighting, I want to level up like my agility. You have to do those things to get there. And it becomes like it like early on I remember in the first game there's a part where you run past like 5 guys harassing one woman and you have to distract them. You can't fight those 5 guys. Like it's just impossible. It's difficult just to fight one guy one-on-one in a sword fight. So you try to take on more than one, you're fucked. So that's like the appeal of the game is at the beginning that's difficult, and then near the end of the game like it becomes more feasible that you can fight on 2 or 3 guys at once. And it feels very rewarding. It's very what was the IGN quote back in? It makes you feel like you're a peasant in 1400s era.
Okay. Yeah. That's my power fantasy right there, dude. Feeling like a peasant.
I love immersion. This is right up my alley.
Really? Yeah, you should play it. It's super immersive. And like I said, they just released a big update for the first one. I do recommend, after going back and playing the first one, the second one, I jumped into the second one and I was mostly good without knowing the story of the first one, but it's so much better if you play the first one first.
I'll start with the second. I already know myself.
Yeah.
The next game that I've been playing that me and Chris talked about a little bit was Romeo is a Dead Man, which is the new Suda 51 game. It's a hack and slash action adventure where you play as a guy. If I tried to explain the plot to you, it would not make any sense. You're like a guy who's a small town cop, and then you almost die, and you get turned into a cyborg by your grandpa, who is like Doc Brown from Back to the Future, and then he gets like he becomes like a ghost or something, a digital ghost or something, and like he lives on the back of your jacket as like a patch decal on your leather jacket, and then your girlfriend situationship kind of thing. A woman becomes like a evil like space-time being. I don't know. It's hard to I don't know how to explain this game to anybody. But it's
Sounds
dope.
like another Tuesday to me, dude.
Yeah. It's really good. It feels, if you're sick of the same old games over and over again, you got to play this game because it's always gonna. The art style is frequently changing. It's consistent art style changes or consistent art style, but like sometimes it's a 2D side scroller. Sometimes most of the time it's this 3D hack and slash, and the combat can be a bit repetitive, but you get new weapons and new guns and upgrades, and it's just fun. And it's not a full $70. It's $50 game. Support your AA devs. Go get Romeo's a Dead Man.
I'll say when Antonio talked me through it, like he showed me the game, it's something that I haven't played before, but it is similar to like I played Lollipop Chainsaw when I was a kid. I played that.
Same dev. Yeah.
Same dev. I told Antonio this. I don't know how much it actually is true, but like it reminds me of like Chainsaw Man. Just the character. The main character kind of looks like it. I feel from the gameplay that Antonio was showing me, it's genuinely just different from something that me as a ball and gun gamer is different than what I play.
Minus the ball.
Minus the ball game. Ball and gun gamer
Gun
minus
gamer.
the ball. I'm gun gamer.
Yeah.
It looks different enough to where it's like something that I would actually kind of want to try out just to see if it's something that I'm interested in. But it looked cool. I am interested most definitely.
If you had to pick a
actually,
game to like what it's closest to, what would you how would you just like what's the next game that's closest?
For me, it's just Lollipop Chainsaw, but I know Antonio would have a better answer.
I'm trying to get a grasp of what this game is. I haven't heard of Lollipop Chainsaw, so if there's another game that you have to compare this to.
So the same dev made Lollipop Chainsaw. He made No More Heroes. I don't know if you've heard of that. And he made Shadows of the Damned, which was like a cult following game too. I guess I would compare it to like a Nier game. I don't know. Like
Okay,
it's hard
Okay.
to explain. I guess Nier is the closest comparison that I can think of because like the genre changes throughout the game and like it's not just a hack and slash and but Romeo is a Dead Man goes further with like the style changes where like I said sometimes it looks like a Game Boy Advance game in a positive like a more prestige Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah.
And sometimes it looks like a modern video game. Yeah, it's really fun. I have one last game and it's kind of a spoiler for what Chris is playing too, and he doesn't know I'm doing this. But Chris, I've been forcing Chris to play Resident Evil 1, the OG, so that we can have a cool video out of it. And that's here's a little tease for that. But I've been also doing a playthrough of the original Resident Evil, but
Nice.
Chris is playing Jill's story and I'm playing Chris Redfield's story, just so I have like and that way I can help him through his playthrough a little better. But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Dude, the fact that you can play that many games in a month is crazy. Like,
well, okay, so
I need to get better
Escape
at
Sim-
playing games.
The Duck Detective games are only 2 to 3 hours, so like that's like a night, So I played those quick. Escape Sim was technically over December and January.
Okay.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was most of my time. It's like 60 hours. And then I'm pausing it right now to play Romeo as a Dead Man.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think I have to work on this is a side note, but I think I have to work on being able to pause a game and like pick up another game. Without I feel like when I play, I have to just fully finish a game.
No, keep the way you're doing it. If you start a game, just finish it. Don't start another one in the middle of it. Don't be like me. It's stupid.
It's kind of
it's not advisable.
Question for the group. Do you guys have a game that you play on console and then a game that you're playing on your PC?
Yes, actually. Sometimes.
Okay.
Yes.
I
I have different like I said, I have games that I'm playing with my girlfriend, so that's like a different category. I have a game for when I'm at my desktop, and then I have a couch game. That's how I usually, separate the three.
For me, it's like
I didn't even think about the couch game.
It's for me, it's kind of hard because like I'm mostly transitioned into like being a PC gamer, so majority of my games are on PC. But I would say single player story games I mostly do on console now because like Jess wants to watch or something. So like I'll do a couch game like that on PlayStation. But if it's typically like something I play more often, like a Call of Duty or something, like that's usually on PC. That's kind of where I've like transitioned into. Something that I want to play on the couch is something I really want to invest time in and like relax and like really immerse myself. Because I said like immersion is like really big for me with games. So I feel like I get a better sense of that on the couch compared to like being on PC.
Normally, my solo single player games like story campaigns are all couch. So I'm playing my like on the PS5. If I'm playing any sort of single player, playing it on my PS5. If I'm playing multiplayer games, then that's straight to PC personally. And then I do have, now that you mentioned it, Tony, I do have like a handheld game that I'm playing. Normally I'm playing through like an old Pokemon game while I'm watching TV with Des, but so I guess it really is just 3 different ways to play.
So what are you playing right now, Damien?
So I started Cyberpunk 2077. What is it? In the first week of January. Literally like at the start of my New Year's resolution was playing more games. I was like, my goal is to at least beat 1 game a month. So I started Cyberpunk that week. I also stopped playing Cyberpunk that same week. I found out that Cyberpunk is just not for me.
What about it is not for you?
The Witcher 3 fan too.
Again, yeah, dude, that was my whole point. I was like, you know what? Witcher 3, Cyberpunk, or sorry, um, why am I blanking on the studio's
CD
name?
Project Red.
CD Projekt Red.
CD Projekt Red are putting out this new sci-fi Witcher size game. I'm like, oh, must be good. Like I've heard nothing but good things, minus from the launch. Nothing but good things about Cyberpunk. So I was like, okay, I was really excited to go and play it. I started it. Really cool intro to the game. Like the probably one of the best like introductions to a game, I should say. Especially when they transition into Keanu Reeves portion of it. That being said, man, I could not get into the world of Cyberpunk. I just didn't care. Like traversing, going from mission to mission wasn't interesting. Like I know that's not supposed to be like that's not the selling point of a game. Like this shouldn't be like driving around is not the selling point. That being said, driving around the city should feel kind of cool, you know? Just wasn't very immersive. It's just a lot of I'm in the city. I'm getting a bunch of pedestrians and I'm getting flashbacks of me driving through fucking downtown LA right now. So it just wasn't an escape, I should say. It just felt very industrial. So when compared to The Witcher 3, you're literally on a horse going through a field. I can't do that. I mean, I'm sure that some people can, but I can't do that every day, right? Or any day. So that's much more of an escape than compared to Cyberpunk for me. Dude, and I know I love Keanu Reeves. He's probably the only thing I enjoyed about the game. I don't care about the main character or any of the other NPCs. Also, when they talk to each other,
you don't care about Jackie?
I don't care about anyone, dude. I like, if I could, I would. Well, I can, and I have. Is skip every dialogue like towards the end.
Damien is the type of person in any game he wants to speed run the stories. He will skip as much dialogue as humanly possible. It is.
How are you gonna learn to love the characters if you're skipping the dialogue?
I gave it a shot. I didn't skip until I decided I hated the characters, and then I was like, all right, I'm skipping.
The second line.
It's just chum this, cyber this, and it's just like I just don't care about what they're talking about.
You got cyber psychosis, bro. You're not.
Thank you. Maybe I'm a choom, dude. I don't know.
What I'll say is
get us canceled.
I do think that the world is less lived in than Witcher 3. I think it feels a lot like emptier. And you know, Witcher 3 has the benefit of being fantasy, so you don't need like skyscrapers and buildings and all this shit.
Yeah.
Where like in Cyberpunk, it feels a little lifeless because I can't go into every building, you know, and I can't talk to everybody on the street. Witcher 3, you're in a place that's less dense and less populated, so it feels more natural to walk around and go from village to village and then talk to some random villager. Cyberpunk doesn't have that benefit. And also, I don't think... I'm thinking of the characters I like, and they're not introduced until way later in the game. So it has some things. It's a bigger curve at the start.
Yeah. Another peeve I had was like when I would interact with the world, right? So like I'm going to use Witcher again as an example. With The Witcher, if you saw people getting attacked by monsters or monsters attacking infesting a town, you had the ability to go clear out that town or interact with that little side event, and you had an immediate like after effect. So either people start moving into the town, or maybe you interacting with saving those people brought up a new quest line, a side quest for you to explore. Dude, I go on so many little interactions. Like I interact with the NPCs in Cyberpunk, which is like I'm gonna butcher it, but it's basically the police dispatches in there. I've done like nearly 50 of them, and they're all the same. Where it's like it got to the point where I just run in, grab something out of a suitcase, and run out. No consequences whatsoever. And to me, that just wasn't fun. It felt, it felt copy and paste, in terms of content.
When you're playing an RPG game, like you want there to be a sense of immersion. You want there to feel like your choices matter and what you do is actually impacting the world. So just going in, like to the point of like if you're gonna clear out a town and then you start to see people like live in that town, like that's cool. That is rewarding. But if you're just going in and it's like cleared out this town, but it's the same amount of people that were in this town before I cleared it, everything's still the same. Like I can see how like that isn't going to be as rewarding. It's something like as a not a huge selling point, or it should be a huge selling point in an RPG, is seeing how your actions actually impact the world. I totally get that.
You know what? And maybe Cyberpunk, maybe it's just the sci-fi element to me. Maybe I just not into it as much as I am sci-fi, which is that's just a me problem. But
As much as you are
Yeah.
into fantasy.
yeah, I'm just.
Have you read Fourth
so-
Wing or anything like that?
So gave up on Cyberpunk. Or not gave up. I still have the playthrough. I just put it down for now. Maybe I'll go back next month. So
So, can I do a quick side note real quick?
go for it.
You like Are you watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
Dude, I fucking love Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Okay, here I
Nerds.
want to pitch you. Playing Kingdom Come is like playing as Sir Duncan the Tall in Night of Seven Kingdoms. That's my little
Okay,
pitch to you about
okay.
Kingdom Come. Is
I'm not gonna lie.
It's yeah.
But 200 hours for a platinum, Antonio. I can't do it. I can't start the game and not get the platinum trophy, dude. That's literally what's gonna stop me from playing.
Okay. What's your next game?
Okay, so after Cyberpunk left that a bad taste in my mouth, and I was like, dude, sci-fi. Maybe I'm just not into sci-fi. Maybe I'm into fantasy. So I started playing one of the best fantasy games out there, Dark Souls.
Oh.
The first one, Dark Souls Remastered.
Mhm.
It's not my first Souls game, but I played.
But it's your first time playing this one?
Yes, it's my first time playing Dark
Oh,
Souls.
shit. Okay.
Yeah. I played Bloodborne. I played Elden Ring. Played Demon Souls. Got the platinum for all three. Minus Demon Souls. I have to go back and do that one.
I was about to say, I was like, I
uh,
don't think you have Demon Souls.
I know. I knew you were gonna call me out on that. That's why I said something. That being said, playing Dark Souls for the first time. Eventually, I'm gonna make my way through the entire series. But Dark Souls Remastered. I guess just Dark Souls as a whole. Great game. Like when in terms of gaming, I don't think of them of level design very often, but Dark Souls makes you think about it.
Yep.
It's just like, man, how did they come up with this? It's like, how did Antonio's nodding his head because I you played it, right?
I haven't
Okay.
played it.
Chris, to give you a little insight to it.
Yeah, tell me.
One of the first starting areas you end up, which is called the Firelink Shrine.
Okay.
Basically, like your little hub where like your NPCs you meet throughout your playthrough will just come and meet you there. Think
like
of
the
it like kind
tower
of
in
like
Destiny.
the center point. Yeah, like you're starting. Yeah, kind of like the tower. Kind of.
Okay. All right.
After about maybe an hour or 2 hours of playing, basically me ascending this castle and how me thinking I'm making all this progress in this castle and like, dude, like I've made it so far, like I'm clearing out, made so much progress. All to at the very top of this church, in the castle is an elevator. I'm like, you take it down, takes you straight down to Firelink Shrine. Like a full circle moment. So I'm like, here I am thinking I'm crossing worlds in my playthrough, and it's like, oh, I just went up, and now I'm
Mhm.
back down. And there's so many moments like that in this game where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, dude, this door right here, that was locked. I just opened it. Oh, I'm back at Firelink Shrine. Oh, this little staircase. Oh, this takes me to a whole new area. Oh, well, if I take this back route, it's going to take me to another area. Like, there's more than one way to play this game, and none of them seem to be wrong or right, which is really, really cool to me.
I feel like most games you think of a linear video game as you start here, you start on this side, and you end on this side. Dark Souls is like you start here, and it's like a branch that goes out and around and underneath and back to the middle. Like it's like there's so much verticality in that map in Dark Souls, and like we talk about how I like to analyze games like in a different way. Dark Souls was like kind of one of those early moments for me where I played a game and I was like, I started thinking about game design differently. And yeah, like you said, like it's just the way the map is designed is mind blowing. Like the first time you play it, it's crazy. And I think it's cool that you're playing it and reading Berserk for the first time at the same time. Like that's sick. Did you,
Yeah,
are you
I will
finish Berserk?
I'm on the fourth big compendium, so I'm
Okay.
I guess a third of the way into the entire series. I think
That's
there's
like
what?
near the end of Golden Age, right? Or right after Golden Age?
I think it's right after.
Okay.
Or
Well, you saw the eclipse.
scratch that. Maybe right at the start of Golden Age.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is really cool to see. That being said, I'm getting a bunch of Berserk references. There's some enemies in the game that are like, I've seen you in the comic. Or in the
FromSoft
manga,
just
sorry.
loves Berserk. they just
Yeah,
take
and
as much as they can.
Yeah, and I knew that going in. I knew that there's a bunch of references in Elden Ring as well. If
Yeah.
you've played, I know you played that one, Chris.
I have. Can I go on a 30-second rant that
Go.
okay, I'm gonna go on a 30-second rant that's basically like my steak's too juicy, my lobster's too buttery. Okay, because what you're describing in this level design about being able to like go through these doors and there's different archways, and you go through different things, like literally hearing this sounds like a dream. Like, oh my god, it's just a big open world, like open world, you get to go do different things, but the idea of going through a door and it resets me back to like the Firelink shrine or whatever, I am not a fan of that in video games. I am such like a linear dude, I'm a double-edged sword. I am a double-edged sword because part of me wants like a linear. I want to go from here to here. I want to know I'm making progress. Some games where it's like, oh, you go through this door, but it like resets you, or like, or you can't go to this area yet. Like if you're telling me I spent 20 minutes trying to fight this one area just to know that I have to come back later. Ooh, that is such a thing.
But you,
like,
what you're describing is different than Dark Souls, though, because Dark Souls, it's like you go through all this stuff and you come back and you realize, oh shit, how much more is hiding behind this starting area that I thought I was gonna be here just once. That means there's so much more hiding around it. It's like it's like a moment where you're like, what's under this floor could be anything. It's like the most like exciting feeling of wonder that you've ever felt. Like not to sound corny as fuck, but that's what Dark Souls is. Like it's just like it makes you feel like that anything could be lurking around the corner.
See, and I can appreciate that. Like, okay, with that context, that makes a little bit more sense. Like, I'm coming at it like, oh, you go through this door and like you're just resetting, and it's like, oh, okay, I just wasn't supposed to go here yet or something like that. That's where I was like, oh man, I love an open world. Give me a million different things to do. I 100% love that. But like using Elden Ring as an example, like I ended up hitting a chest and it teleported me halfway across the map, and I was like, I've never been here before. I got to figure out how to get back to this main area. Like, oh, that super cool. But like stuff, this is such a non-argument because it's I'm arguing for something that I love in the same sense that I'm arguing like,
okay,
man, I just spent 20 minutes. Like now I got to figure out what I'm doing from here. It's such a non-argument.
I think are you upset that they're recycling the area? Like you're like,
no.
Wait,
It's like
why am I back here?
Going into this, it's
you thought you were wasting your time if you go back to the starting area.
Yeah. I thought it was
no.
Like there's a thing that this is a nitpick about have with certain games is like I can appreciate when people take their time and build out a world. But like if you design, this is a very like clear example. If you design a hallway that I go down and there's 8 doors in this hallway, if all 8 doors of this hallway are locked, I find for me, I'm just like, I'd rather that hallway not exist. Like if there's nothing with the intent of I'm supposed to do something in here, I'd rather whatever time it took to make that hallway, you have spent making one of those doors open so I could do something in it. Because the time is like I've just spent 10 minutes doing nothing when I could have been doing 10 minutes doing something. That's
kind of crazy, Antonio? Is that Dark Souls?
It's yeah. You're describing Dark Souls. Yeah.
You're just describing Dark Souls. Like,
you gotta play it. Great game. One of the greatest games of all time. You should play it.
Maybe
dude, it's a
Dave,
lot of
if you
fun.
want to walk me through Dark Souls,
I'm having a blast.
I'm all for it. If you want to walk me through it, I'm all for it.
Get in line, brother. Get in line. Dalton's next.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, I would should say I'm beating Dark Souls for the second time now. I'm about to finish my new game +1 playthrough.
Sick.
Yeah, I have to start a third one because I need the goddamn trophy so I can beat the game officially, and then uninstall it and never touch it again. And then I'll move on to Dark Souls 2.
Chris, what are you playing? Dave,
All right.
does that it? Do you have
Oh,
any
yeah,
more
yeah.
games? Or
No, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Dark Souls has been
Okay.
taking up all my time.
Chris, what have you been playing?
Since the start of this year, I've played about 3 games. I just started a third one today. But the first game that I want to talk about is I've been playing Resident Evil. It's just Resident Evil, I think. Just Resident Evil, right? Anthony?
Yeah, Resident Evil 96, 1996, the PlayStation 1 game.
Playing the Resident Evil 96, the PlayStation 1 game for the very first time. I am somebody who cannot go back and play old games. And so right now I'm playing through this for the first time with Antonio guiding me. And I can play Elden Ring. I can play Call of Duty on Veteran. I can play hard games. There is something about old Nintendo games that just my brain does not understand. Like you put something on a GameCube, you put something on what are the
PS1.
the PS1, like just old games, you put something on there, my brain cannot comprehend how the controls work or how they function in a normal sense. They just don't make sense to me because I just didn't grow up playing those games or playing games like that. So like I'm playing Resident Evil right now, and the tank controls are I'm doing okay, but they are throwing me for a loop because I just want to run. I just want to run. The fact that I can't shoot and run at the same time is the craziest concept to me. Like this is how games used to be made is so crazy to me. And it's so cool to see how far we've come. But I'm playing this game and I'm just like I'm getting nervous. Antonio's seen it. I'm going through this area. I'm avoiding every single zombie. I don't do that. I run towards the zombies, but something about Resident Evil 1996 is making me afraid, and it's completely changing how I go about playing games. I'm avoiding the hallways. I'm avoiding going into battle because I'm like, I'm not good at this. I am gonna suck and I am gonna die. And Antonio has seen me die a handful of times too. The simplest of things. And it is a really cool experience to go back and play it now in today's day and age in 2026 to play Resident Evil for the first time with Requiem about to come out. But it's something that like I never thought I would actually go back and play because I have such a hard time playing these games and just going back to older games in general. But it's a lot of fun, genuinely. It's something that I never thought I would do.
It's funny that you started that point by Nintendo saying Nintendo. Sorry. It's funny you started that point by stating that Nintendo games in particular you can't go back and play because those games are often praised for being timeless in terms of mechanics and content.
They are. Ocarina holds up today to me. So Super Mario 64 especially feels like a modern game. It doesn't look like a modern game, but it feels like one.
It's funny. Literally today, Jess was playing Legend of Zelda on GameCube. She was playing Wind Waker, and I saw that game and I went, my brain doesn't understand what's happening. My brain does not understand what's happening.
Like,
she handed me the controller.
Games ever made.
I didn't play this today, but like the other Legend of Zelda games, like Ocarina of Time, she hands me the controller. My brain turns off. I don't know how to shoot. It's like I've never held a controller before in my entire life. I don't understand old Nintendo games. Older games are getting harder for me, but something about playing this Resident Evil game, I think is kind of like triggering or making me like kind of appreciate them a little bit more. It's like maybe this turns into something where I'm playing more games. But like talking to your point, Damien, about old school Nintendo games being timeless, like to the point, I could play Demon's Souls, I could play Call of Duty on Veteran. I can't play Mario game. If you like, Mario Wonder was so hard for me. Like that is a game, just a basic Nintendo platformer. The fact that you have like the little drift, like you have to count for that drift when you're running. My brain is like, that doesn't make sense. I am so bad when it comes to Nintendo specifically. And older games.
Not to bounce the conversation back to Dark Souls, but when Dark Souls was first coming out, because Miyazaki headed Dark Souls, but I forgot who, I can't remember their name, but basically someone above him and at the company at the time played through the game or started a playthrough and was like, because of the controls, you couldn't, they're a little weird. You have to look one way and you can't, it's hard to turn another way because your character will still turn that way, but your camera won't be looking that way. So it's a little disorientating at
Mhm.
first. So because of that, and plus the added difficulty of just Dark Souls, the guy was like, "This is the most unplayable pile of crap I've ever. Like this isn't gonna do well at all." Now it's arguably one of the best games of our time. So if I feel like if you can get past that little hiccup in your head about the controllers,
Mhm.
play some of the best games of our time, like
You can play any
Ocarina
game.
of Time.
That's why this is part of my goal was with making you play Resident Evil, to like make it so that you can play anything. There's certain things that I love watching you do, which we're not going to run into this issue in this playthrough because you're playing as Jill and she has more inventory space and things are easier. But you were talking about how you don't like doing multiple saves, how you have to overwrite the same save slot. You're fucking yourself if you do that in Resident Evil, because what will happen is you get to a certain point and then you realize, oh shit, I can't get past this because I've used up all the ammo in the mansion, and I can't beat this boss because there's no more ammo for me to go find and pick up and use against this boss. And so you don't have any old saves to go back to, so you would have to restart the whole game. That's something that can happen when you play something like Resident Evil 1. This one.
Oh my god, we were masochists back in the day. Oh my god, it was so horrible. I mean, cool, but
Yeah.
horrible at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like with playing Resident Evil right now, like he talks about my inventory. I am the type of person where like, oh, I pick up this medallion, I'm gonna hold it until I use it. But that's not the case in the Resident Evil. Like I might use it, I might go to a completely different area, and now I have to figure out what is actually important. And I think it's kind of changing the way I'm playing games because I want to hold everything, but I can't do that in this game. And I've played the remakes, like they operate, I would say, a little differently, but like you can kind of get a better sense in the newer games of like what you need and when you need it. I have no uh notion. I have no idea of when I might actually use something that I pick up. So it's kind of interesting. And also Jill is one of my favorite characters, at least playing Resident Evil 3 remake, and seeing Jill in the original Resident Evil is crazy. It is night and day. Just how completely different, just 180 she is. In Resident Evil, she's so campy and so like afraid, to being the badass that she is in Resident Evil 3 is so funny. It's such a nice juxtaposition.
Antonio, would you argue that the quote unquote jankiness of those like controls is part of the experience and what makes like Resident Evil a different experience compared to like the remake or
Yes and
future
no.
remakes?
I think it's part of the experience. I like playing with those controls because it makes the most sense to me. In the remake of 1, the 2002 remake of 1, when they ported it to modern consoles, they added a modern control scheme that I'm going to like when we get to that game, Chris is free to use, because it's not tank controls, but it does get confusing sometimes when the camera angle switches, because you'll be holding one direction and then suddenly you're holding left but you're moving this way. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, so that's why I use the tank controls in those games. But yeah, we'll see. We'll when we get there. I don't totally think the tank controls are necessary for all of the games. I think in the original classic trilogy, it's part of the identity, yes, but I'm fine with them moving away from it. I mean, even OG Resident Evil 4 still had the tank controls. Even though it was third person over the shoulder, it was still tank controls. And then Resident Evil 5, it wasn't tank controls, but you still couldn't move and aim at the same time. I don't know if you remember that, but if you go back and play Resident Evil 5, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I remember like you couldn't move and aim at the same time. You had to stop. And
I think that's also
I've
something
only ever played the remake, so
I think that's something I'm also struggling with, is the fact that like in these games, like your default like this, but then you have to like move it up to shoot up and like down to shoot down, and I'm like,
Yeah.
the fact that I have to account for that when I'm playing is such a trip to me. It's like the bullet
what
should
does-
just go forward.
moving up to shoot up, moving
Because
down to shoot
okay,
down.
so like in this
That makes
game-
sense to me in my head.
Okay, yes, fair. But like in this, when you're playing, like everything's just shooting forward, like shooting the person in the head.
Okay.
But like you have the option of
Okay.
shooting up. If I shoot up, I just miss. If I just shoot down, I miss. Like they have these options.
It's for certain things, yeah.
It's-
So like
Mm.
it's you don't use it much in Resident Evil 1, but in Resident Evil 2 you have the lickers that climb on the ceiling. So that's when you start aiming up. And then in Resident Evil 1, you can when you knock down, like you shoot a zombie a couple times, it falls down, and then you can shoot him, like aim down and shoot him on the.
That is true.
So that's what that's for.
It's a combination of like having to be very deliberate of like, okay, I'm going to stand and fight right now versus like
Yeah.
I can move and fight at the same time is something that like is where I am struggling the most, is because I just want to fire, and Antonio's seen it. I'll shoot a zombie like 6 times and he doesn't go down. He's got to me. He walked all the way across the room and made it to me because I just locked and started firing.
In that game, you have 2 modes. You're in attack or flee, and there's no middle.
I am exclusively in attack, and so I've died a handful of times because I'm just like, oh, he's gonna go down before he gets to me, and that
So-
is not the case.
I guess the question is, are you enjoying it?
It's taken me a sec, but I am enjoying it. It is.
Okay.
I'm enjoying playing the game. It's fun. I think I'm kind of like succumbing to it a little bit. Is like almost like Stockholm syndrome a little bit, where it's like, you know,
Okay.
you're playing it,
Great point. Great
And-
way to put it.
and at first I'm just like, oh, this is rough. I have to like really get behind this. But now I'm just like, I can appreciate the appeal. It's changing it's opening the door.
It's opening the doors, man. I can make you play Silent Hill. I can make you play Metal Gear Solid 1. We're gonna get there.
You know, 2027. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, that's me. I've been playing Resident Evil. One of the games I've been playing is Resident Evil, and I'm excited to beat it, see how the rest of the game goes, and just kind of continue along this journey. It's been fun. That's game 1. The other game that I've been playing this year is Expedition 33. I finally
Let's
cracked
go.
that open, and I'm not very far. I am shortly after Act 2. So like, what a game.
After the start of Act 2?
Shortly
or-
after the start. Yeah, shortly after the start. Of
Okay,
Act 2.
okay.
Yeah.
Because that's a different thing. Yeah.
Sorry, correct. Thank you. So I'm in Expedition 33. I'm just after like the beginning of Act 2, and I won't spoil anything, but like, what a game. Like, that is a game that I'm not a turn-based player. That game, the moment I got into my first encounter, I was like, cool. No problem. The way that they do turn-based combat is so good in that game.
Mhm.
I genuinely I'm like, okay, you do your turn. Okay, now me. Like, I'm actually excited to see how they attack me, so that way I can parry or I can dodge. Normally, I've only really played like Baldur's Gate to see on the turn base, but I'm just like, man, hurry up and do your turn. I just want it to be mine. But now in this game, I'm like, yeah, attack me 4 times in a row. I'm gonna parry him. Like, I am so excited to play this game. It's completely different than what I'm used to, and like the story. Once I learned what the story was, the story is so good, and it's like, oh my god, it's so interesting and such a sad story, but like something that I truthfully, when it first came out, I was like, oh, maybe I'll play it, maybe I won't, but like this is something I'm just really enjoying, and it's all I want to play right now. The characters, like there's characters that I thought I didn't care for, but I'm just like, oh, I actually like very much care about you. Like starting off, Mael, I was like, oh, just a kid. Why am I gonna care about this kid? Mael is like my heavy hitter. Mael is OP, dude. She's so good, and she's hands down like one of my favorite characters. But it is a game that I did not think I would like. It's a game that I didn't think I would originally like want to play, and it's something that I'm playing now, and I'm like, man, I wish I would have played this game earlier. It's such a strong story, and the mechanics are genuinely, if you don't like turn-based games, it is a turn-based game that doesn't feel like a turn-based game. Like, they make it interesting, and they make it feel like you're just genuinely fighting in a game, and playing is rewarding, battling is rewarding, exploring the world is rewarding. I'm never bored playing that game, which can happen in other games, but every part of this game is something that like I just want to explore as much as I can and fight as much as I can.
You didn't mention it, but aside from the parries, like the other thing that the game does, and other JRPGs or RPGs, turn-based RPGs do this, but the cool part about Expedition is the way each character plays so uniquely. Where like Mael has the stances, and Gustav has the overcharge thing,
Hmm.
and Luna has
Luna.
the different elements. Lune has
Lune.
different like elements. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, that's something that if you like that stuff, of that's very common for that genre, turn-based combat. So if that's also something you like, I think you would like other turn-based RPGs. It's not just the parry. I mean, other turn-based RPGs do have the parry and dodges, like Super Mario, Paper Mario has that, and I think the Mario RPG. I haven't played it in a long time, but I think that has that too. So it's these aren't mechanics that are unique to Expedition 33, but they do it so well, and the presentation is amazing too. That's like the other part of it.
That's such a beautiful game. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I have a theory as to why Expedition 33 is so good. And it's a Souls like. It's a Souls like turn based RPG game, dude. You have bonfires, right? And those are the little checkpoints throughout the
Mhm.
level that if you use, the enemies will respawn. You have dodging, you have parrying, you have. Do you have blocking? You have blocking? Or no?
I mean,
No, but
pairing.
You have dodging, you have parrying, you have the little bonfires throughout the little maps. It's a Souls like.
and
The content they have.
the way you approach bosses is the same as you approach a boss in Souls, where you have to like learn their attack patterns and their animations and realize like, oh, that means that I'm gonna have to parry, or that means that I'm gonna have to dodge. Like it's like, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I like playing E33. I was in the same boat as Chris. I'm not a huge turn-based RPG guy. Baldur's Gate also being the first turn-based game I played and enjoyed. Playing E33, I was like, whoa, this is you have to. I'm approaching it in the same way I'm approaching Dark Souls and any Souls like. And for me, that it was a lot of fun. So I think that the fact it's a Souls like has a lot to do with its success. I don't know, agree or disagree, but that's what I think.
One thing I want to also mention, like Antonio brought it up, like the stats and like how each player plays differently. I'm the type of gamer, like when I'm playing, I typically default to like one play style. So even in this game, I find myself doing it where I'm like, okay, I get to upgrade, I'm gonna go straight into damage. Like that is 100% it. But like the fact that there's the different skill trees, like you've got your A through D's, and like you got agility, defense, health, mixed with like Lune is like all about elemental. I when I discovered that Gustav and Mael could like synergy, that was like revolutionary for me. I was like, oh, you're telling me that Gustav he can apply a mark to an enemy, but then if Mael with this attack attacks somebody who's marked, then they stay in the virtuous stance. Like
Yeah.
I can keep that going and attack a second time. Literally is one of the coolest things about this game, and it's something that I'm having so much fun. I'm actively trying to play these characters in different styles rather than just forcing them all to just be like melee, brute attack. I think it is so much fun. It's something that I don't normally play as because I'm just so used to doing the everyone make them super strong. I don't care about all these other things, but this is something that like I'm actively going out for and trying to learn the best synergy so that I play with as many characters as possible with their different play styles. It's really fun. It's really cool.
The blueprint for
Yeah.
all of these is Final Fantasy. I just want to put that out there. This all comes from Final Fantasy, and the things that you're describing that you like about Expedition 33, it's all there in Final Fantasy. Aside from like the dodging and the parrying, everything you're describing is in every Final Fantasy game. It's in Pokemon games technically, except Pokemon you don't like use a different Pokemon for each turn. But yeah, that's the idea. The ideas that you're spitting. If you've ever had an aversion to turn based Final Fantasy, what you're describing, what you like, that is Final Fantasy, and I just want to put that out there.
I think it's really cool how E33 the combat is as surface level as you want it. So if you want to just do damage and to see big numbers, you can do that. But if you want to push the game to its limits and basically become as broken as you so desire, you can totally do that, and I think that's really really cool. You can make it as busted as you want, and that's really cool.
The first time I had my L hit a counter with damage of 9,999 on first turn, and I ended somebody, I was like, this is amazing. Just putting in my luminas and stacking, I'm like, there's things that I can build. Like, this is the first game I'm actually, for lack of a better term, trying to build a character. You know, I play Borderlands, I love Borderlands, but when I play that, I kind of focus on the same thing. I'm like, okay, how can I do the most damage? I I I try to pay attention to, like, buffs and stuff like that, but this is the first game where I'm actively trying to build and buff as much as I possibly can to fully experience like what these characters are capable of. I think Expedition 33 does it really, really well for somebody like me, anyways, who
Mhm.
normally plays a very like one style of play when it comes to games. Expedition 33. I'm sure everyone has played it by now, but if you haven't, highly recommend Expedition 33. I'm scared to eventually beat that game because I know it is going to be so rough. And that game's hard too. There's some bosses I show up, I'm like, I will come back in
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 hours.
Dude, but the thing is, you don't have to come back. Like you can,
I want to.
you set your like if you want to. It is more than possible, and I've done it with a few of the bosses where you got their attack pattern down to the minute timing, and you're pairing every single one. Like I think I forgot the longest fight I had was probably like 30 minutes, and it was the I don't want to spoil it, but it's a boss that it's in the water. Basically, you come across when you're just going on the guy's belly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Eskia.
Eskia. But yeah, I was in that fight for like 30 minutes, just parrying and hitting attacks, and it was around the time where if I got hit by anything, I would die. Like it was I would do a one hit KO. But that was some of the most satisfying fights I've ever had in any game.
I've ran into a couple of those and I've tried them out, and then I have like, I'll come back because they're just too hard at this point in
Dude,
time.
I was too stubborn. I never came back. The only one I ever came back for was the sheep. The sheep king in the very beginning. Maybe you haven't seen him. He's in an optional area, but
He's optional.
Got it.
yeah.
But yeah,
Antonio, maybe you can. So one of the immediately after beating E33, I went to all my turn-based fans, and I was like, "What other games out there?" I know you mentioned Final Fantasy, but I was like, "Is there any other games out there that are this good, like this peak, in terms of like similarity?"
In terms of presentation, Persona 5, everyone's going to tell you Persona 5. That game actually a lot of the camera stuff that Expedition 33 does, like when you like press X on to attack and it whips in to be right behind your character, that feels like it's from Persona 5. The one game that it's hard to find now. It's not on like any like I don't know if there's any way to play it today like that's readily available, but the biggest game that inspired Expedition 33 is this game called Lost Odyssey. It was a 360, I want to say it was a 360 exclusive in like 2000, late 2000s. But if you like Expedition 33, Lost Odyssey is the biggest inspo for that game. And I recommend that.
It's funny because every person I've asked, you actually they've no. Well, it's Persona 5, but more so they're like there isn't anything else out there that's this good. Like you know, at this
Yeah.
peak that's this all around good.
I think a lot of people have aversion to like anime looking games. A lot of people have like
I think that's fair to say.
that turns off a lot of people. I think some of the Final Fantasy games are if you're gonna play a Final Fantasy, probably 10 and 10 2. I don't know. But the issue is a lot of they call Expedition 33 like baby's first JRPG because it does a lot of things that like makes it more appealing. It has a different art style. It's shorter. It's much shorter than a JRPG. JRPGs are like 70, 80 hour endeavors. Whereas Expedition 33 is my playthrough was 30, 35 maybe hours.
I think 100% it, and it was like 40 hours for me.
Yeah, so if you're gonna play any other JRPG, you're investing double the time, so it's a lot harder to like get there. But yeah, I would say the games as good, if not better, are out there. It's just the gap isn't the gameplay. It's the learning gap is the art style and what you prefer a game to look like.
My final game, and I literally just started this today. The final game that I've been playing this year is, I think, Nintendo's greatest IP that I think they need to do more on. The best Nintendo game, Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm replaying Luigi's Mansion 3 today. What a good game.
I was about to flip out, but I actually agree with you. I think Luigi's Mansion is super underrated.
Luigi's Mansion is such an underrated game, but like it has a good story. The mechanics are very good. They feel, when you're playing, nothing feels clunky. Everything feels like it makes sense. Everything feels very satisfying. You turn on that ghost sucker and you start sucking up the ghosts or like picking up trash. Like I will go through every level and I will just like suck up every possible thing that I can in the level because it's just so satisfying. Like feeling the vibration. Hold on, feeling like feeling the controls and like
this guy's clip farming. Shut the fuck up.
Just you do the mechanics of the game and like they feel good. It is. I feel they thought about everything when it came to Luigi's.
It's still going.
The story is good. I cannot tell you how much I loved Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. When that game came out, I know I was saying earlier, like Nintendo games always gave me trouble. Luigi's Mansion never gave me trouble. It was a game that I played so much. In my head, it's just iconic. Luigi going, Mario. Like that is just takes me back to my childhood. And Luigi's Mansion 3 I'm playing it on the Switch. I was literally just playing it on the couch. Like it's one of the only games I'll play handheld because I don't really play a lot of games handheld, which I want to change. But Luigi's Mansion 3, Antonio, I know you said you've played it, but Damien, I don't know if you've played it. It is a good game. It's a very simple premise. You go to a hotel and you just go up a hotel and you clear out the floors, you fight the bosses, and you just unlock more levels as you're doing it. It is a very simple game in a nutshell, but it is so much fun. I don't think, I personally cannot name another game that like when I'm playing, it gives me, is maybe kind of a far stretch, but like I think you guys can probably understand where I'm going. It kind of scratches the same itch as like something like a Power Washer Simulator does, where it's like there's things to do and it's like the act of playing the game, the act of discovering the levels and using your vacuum feels like you want to do it at every possible turn and enjoy the game to the mechanics to the fullest extent. And that's
It's like ASMR.
Luigi's Mansion's kind of like ASMR. There's not a moment where I'm just like, oh man, I'm so tired of using the vacuum, whether it's to suck or blow or anything, the powers that be in. And Guigi, love Guigi. Guigi's so much fun. That's what I'm playing right now, Luigi's Mansion 3. I don't know. I feel like it came out, people talked about it like a little bit, but I don't think Nintendo realizes just how valuable of an IP that is. I think by now we should have Luigi's Mansion 4 and maybe even 5, or at least an announcement trailer for Luigi's Mansion 5, I think. That's my take.
When you started this, I thought you were going to have a crazy hot take about Nintendo's best IP. But I feel like there's a lot of people out there in the world that agree with you, because I feel every Nintendo Direct, every tweet is where's Luigi's Mansion. All the comments in the live are where's
It's not
Luigi's
their best
Mansion?
franchise, but it's up there. It's pretty good.
I think we as a society need to go to John Nintendo and be like, listen, we need Luigi's Mansion 4. Give the people what they want. I think at the same time, give somebody a Pikmin. Sure, give them a Pikmin. But like, people want Luigi's Mansion. It is a fun game. And it's so simple. Like I can't imagine these games being very expensive to make because it's very self-contained. It's not an open world. It's you've got a point A, you got a boss to fight at the end, and then you win. I feel like they could probably kick those out on a shorter timeline compared to like, their other games. But Luigi's Mansion, I think more people need to call out Nintendo and have them make another Luigi's Mansion because
We'll put a petition in.
Put a
what's the
petition.
petition?
Luigi's Mansion 3. That's what I'm playing. I started that today. I've been thinking about this game for the past couple months. Like, man, I really want to play it. I've mostly been wanting to get into handheld gaming in general because I'm like, I don't want to sit on my PC. I don't want to sit on the couch. I just want to like have something where I could just play in bed. And having a Switch, I need to take more advantage of the Switch, but there's not many games that I feel like I could sit and enjoy and just play a story mode game on the Switch, aside from like Luigi's Mansion. Maybe there's more that I don't know about, but Luigi's Mansion 3.
So you mentioned that you really enjoying E33. You want to get into more handheld gaming. Sounds like turn-based RPGs are going to be right up your alley, and it's going to give you access to both of these things that you want.
There's a chance. I mean, I've gone my whole life without playing a Final Fantasy or a Persona or Kingdom Hearts. Like I haven't.
Not turn-based, but okay. I know.
I was like, not turn-based. But okay.
I throw those into there. It's they're all like synonymous for me. Those three franchises.
Okay, hold on, real quick before you make this point. People need to understand that the reason Chris says that is because if he sees any sort of anime/cartoon character, it's automatically the same game to him, and it's automatically dismissed as not a real game to him.
No. It's
yes.
No. Dismissed? No. I acknowledge that those games exist and they have their audience, but I just have never played them. And so for pure not knowing anything about these games, like I know the kid with the key sword. I know that's Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, you're still on. Okay.
I know he's Kingdom Hearts. Cloud is Final Fantasy. I couldn't tell you, right? All this to say is like I might start playing not mobile games. I might start playing handheld games. I don't know what I don't think I'm ready yet to play Final Fantasy or Persona or Kingdom Hearts.
We'll get you there.
I'll throw that.
We'll get you there.